not tier 2 in the party should be able to see at the top just something that says like allow audio to be broadcast or something like that. If you go into the party menu itself, and you should just see something at the top with a tick box. Oh, this is the issue we were having the other week. If you go into Sideshow Samuel's party, right underneath where, or right around where it'll say invite everyone to game. If we just see if we can quickly have it where you get the account to stream on, and then we can maybe see it through that way. Because I don't want to have to because I don't want the same thing to happen this time. I think it is just what I think the internet just where I am from is just a bit crap, so that might end up being the reason why. So we'll let them know in the Discord, and then. Yeah, so start trying to log on to the Twitch on your Xbox, and then just just work from there really. Yeah, the WOR one. Yeah, basically, I mean the login details are in the commentators channel. And then all you've really got to do is just sync it up, and then it will just have qualify up in the meantime whilst we try and sort this out between me and my co-commentator in WOR tier 3 today. Very interesting choice of strategy here. Apologies for technical difficulties, we should be sorting out quite soon. But in the meantime, we're just going to be following on with just seeing how everyone gets on with their times at the moment. So, got typical F1 at the moment, who went out and came 6th in the last race. Oh, hold on, just yeah. So basically, what you do is you just log on to the. If you go into the you'll need a code from PSR Bourbon soon enough. Oh yeah, see you putting in the chat now. Yeah, so TMS Amaze gets everyone off the benchmark there with a 1:26.4. That's a bit off, about a second or so off where you'd expect tier 1 to be at the moment, but also we know these guys can go a lot faster than the times being set at the moment, so don't be surprised just to see these times go a lot higher later on as we see the climb out of the championship lead up there by a huge margin. Someone having spun round and going slightly. Here notice they can't actually stopping on track just to allow Bowser to keep on his flying that. So that is the fastest one. It is invalidated. that delay is fantastic. That would be quite annoying for him. So we are going to go with Cheetah now, who is the closest rival to Formaldehyde as he goes fastest overall at the moment, just by just under 700ths of a second to LRT Alex there. Compedink, the reigning championship reigning champion of Tier 3, is currently in 4th position alongside his teammate, or just ahead of his teammate even, on the second row of the grid. So doing quite well for Aston Martin at the moment. It could be better, but given where we were last week, unlikely. I would find that very unlikely. You could try it, but I don't think it really would. I don't think it would work. But I'll just atom myself as well. Yes, have you got it there? Are you logged in? We'll try to... Yeah, might need to atom again. Just, I know. I mean, obviously got just under 20 years in the race as well, so it's going to be frustrating for him as to. But I mean, I can understand. I mean, it's just annoying because I mean, I don't understand why it is that you don't get that message to allow. Oh wait. Which has made him a bit of a and Cheetah and LRT Alex both on their outlap. Reaching just over 2 miles an hour, brake it up, and then why does he possibly turn turn 8? Very wide out, so you reduce the turning angle into turn 10. Very easy to watch your brakes without third of 3 DRS around P3 at the moment for cheaters. No, even multiple attempts to go now. During the maze time is well amazing. 26. And it looks like at the moment it could be done by Cheetah. I mean, he's just a upper sector. He's 3 tenths up on his lap. And if he gets pole position, everything stands, he would certainly be able to get it as making as much inside curb as he can at the apex. Lots of exit curb there. DRS as soon as he can. 182 miles an hour through the final corner. And it's first driver go under 126 today. He'll be very pleased. 6 minutes to go. Could well be pole position. Yeah, and apologies for the technical difficulties again. As you see, my co-commentator has left the lobby. Hasn't left the party just yet. Haven't lost hope, have we? That we're going to be able to get this in. But as things stand, whilst we wait for those technical issues to be resolved, we are currently with Cheetah at first place in the Alpine, joined by the Williams of TMS Amaze. CTM's at Caesar in the Ferrari third place, followed by the 2 Alfa Romeos of Liam Harmon and MIC Alex, who has fallen away a little bit there, just by virtue of times having improved around him. He has got fast time himself. And it's interesting strategy here from Flying Rose, that he's only done the 1 attempt at the lap at the moment. So does that suggest that he's trying to save 2 fresh sets of tyres, or 1 fresh set of tyres for the race, indicating that he's perhaps going for a 2-stop, which you wouldn't expect to be the best sort of strategy, or maybe he's saving it for the safety cars we saw last week's race. The safety car did come out and did cause a bit of awkwardness from some of the drivers in terms of their strategy. It's not exactly, it's always good to be prepared really in that sort of sense. I mean, we saw in real life race just some drivers benefiting from the safety car. It just does throw in an extra spanner as we see yellow flags through the final couple of corners. I think that's Steve. Yeah, no, I think it was just a bit farther. No, he doesn't. Yeah. But it's just a little bit of a waiting game now, as we've got a couple of drivers on track at the moment, most notably in terms of challenging for the pole position at the moment, and TTM Caesar, he is maybe a bit too early given that the track will still buff up in these last couple of minutes. It does seem to indicate that he is on a flying lap at the moment. As we see yellow flags, cars getting out of the way for him. As you see, out through such a difficult corner there, go on the inside curb, see that you spin out at turn I am very smart. Turn 13-14, as Martin Brundle kept saying during the week in the real life race, take 14 right and 15 basically doesn't exist. And again, that's okay, then that was the game being a bit weird with the indication there of who is on what sort of lap. You might need to do it again, mate, because I don't know if, unfortunately, because code might expire in that because obviously he's just, I don't know, but I wouldn't do it just yet. But half of the purple sector showing the pace that we know that he can have, just hasn't really been able to fully extract so far this season. He's had a very bad amount of bang. It reminds me of BRT Wolf in Tier 5, just very, very quick driver, but just having some absolutely rotten luck throughout this season. If I had to make any comparison, at least that's certainly one I would make, given that's who I'm a tier that I'm much more familiar with at the moment. We've got a couple of corners to go now. Not purple sector 3 for half, but he's certainly unlocking a lot more pace than we've maybe have seen at times from here. He's only got a couple of corners to go now. His final straight now, across the line, with a 125.9 to put him on the front row of the grid. 200ths of a second slower than Cheetah. That is such fine margins. I mean, we saw last week, just top 9 drivers separated by under 0.2 of a second. Absolutely unbelievable stuff there, and he just misses out on pole position. Okay. Oh! Oh, right, okay. That, oh my... That would make sense. Oh my god, if I've been having that for weeks, then that's... can you try now? Hold on, let me just sign up. Oh, I've got a game on PC as well, so let me just sign out of that as well. Again, I must apologise for technical difficulties once again. We might be getting ever so much closer to a co-commentary for once on one of my sorts of streams that I commentate, which I can't believe keeps happening. But yes, so is there now the option? Is there now the option for you to be broadcast? Oh really? Maybe try just resetting real quick, just because then I can invite you that way, and then it'll definitely show I'm online. Yeah, we'll have. I mean, we'll have a couple of minutes between now and this actual start of the race. And now, speaking of between now and the start of the race, we do have just a couple of drivers, and that's Flying Rosie out of this qualifying session, down all the way down in P15. That is absolutely woeful from our championship leader at the moment, whereas his rival, my closest rival at the moment in the Alpine, Cheetah, sets a new fastest lap there with a 1:25.7. It goes absolutely blisteringly quick. Typical F1, goes 1:26 flat. That is just incredible stuff from Cheetah. Just one of only 2 drivers so far to have broken the 26-second barrier. Could there be anyone else that's able to do that? We're going to find out in just a second, as we've got TMS Amazed on his final flying lap now. He's 5th place at the moment. He's going into the pits. Is Caesar going to go into the pits? He is. He's on a invalidated lap there. LRT Alice, he's invalidated. Squidge, he hasn't invalidated, but he's harvesting. He's not on a fast lap. The Haas of Nape, he doesn't go faster. He's in 14th, and that is your grid for the race in just a couple of minutes' time. It is Cheetah who gets an important, crucial pole position for and alongside him is going to be Harv in the Aston Martin. And we'll just, in a moment's time, be back with you. Hello. No, I'm going to invite invite you to the game. You'll have to just be careful of joining as a spectator, because you might accidentally join as a driver, because I've had that before. So yeah, I mean, it ended up being quite a good qualifying session in the end, even if we're still battling technical difficulties there. We should hopefully, if we've diagnosed the right issue, should have it fixed in just a second's time. Don't know if you're able to get game audio, because I'm not able to. So apologies if that's another technical issue that we've got here. Don't quite know how to as easily to fix that one. But do let me know if you can hear game audio, because I can't, unfortunately, and I'm worried that means you can't either. But we're going to get onto the grid in 30 seconds time for the formation lap. So Epic, are you able to, is the thing now available on the party? Sorry? Oh, is it still not working? Oh my. Next week we definitely have to try it with you as the person streaming, just because I can't, because when I was doing it with Joseph last week, it was him doing the actual stream, like being in the lead of the stream. It worked then. So I think it might just be my internet, unfortunately. Yeah, no, that's what I mean. It's like, I think it might be my connection, because I wasn't with you. No, I don't. I think it might be me, just because it is. Because the last time in Canada, I wasn't. Yeah. Yeah, because I don't think I commentated with you on Canada. I think Canada for Tier 5 might have been one of those solo ones for me. Unfortunately, in the end, I don't know if we were able to diagnose the main issue, but I'm gonna just try and run with things as they go at the moment. There's no more time to really be trying to fiddle about now, as we've got drivers starting to form themselves up on the grid as they finally file through to the final corner. And again, must apologise one last time for not being able to hear my co-commentator today. Hopefully we can get it sorted out at some point during the race, but for the time being, I'm sure you're sick of hearing about it and you just want to get on with watching some good Formula 1 virtually, really, because we saw some good racing at this track just a few days ago in real life. Will we see anything close to the quality of that race? I'm sure we will. These guys know how to put on a show. And we're going to go on to the starting sequence now. We are 5 lights. And we are underway now, and that's a good start from Cheetah. But is that a better one from Harvard? It is not. It's Caesar already made up a position. There's already a crash in the background there, and that is TMS Amaze and Humperdinck involved in a situation there. And I think that's the McLaren of the McLaren of PSR Troy. What on earth has happened there? We've got a safety car before we've even reached turn 1. Oh my goodness me. I've taken the lead in the meantime, just before the safety car had come out. So, I mean, in a way, with misfortunes of Humperdinck, has certainly helped Harv out, because you've got to think that Cheetah would have maybe looked to make the counter move on Harv. That's been completely neutralised now. And now in the clean air, Harv is allowed to dictate this race. You're going to go to lap 3, or at least the end of lap 2, under the safety car conditions. So that's going to really throw off certain strategies here. If you saw the AWS, it's not quite accurate on this game, because we know you can stretch the tyres a bit more in the game, so which can lead to either soft medium or soft hards for these drivers here. We'll see who's taken the which tyres on this race. Obviously everyone who qualified within the top 10 has qualified on the softs. Everyone outside has opted for the mediums, as to whether that means medium to hard, medium to soft, or even medium soft soft. The two-stop is a good strategy if you can do it right, and obviously for these guys, they've decided to opt for a lap 1 pit stop. Obviously the medium tyres is a very good... Oh no, they're going on to the hards. Well, hard is at the very least. What about typical? Right, that is going to be very, very difficult to go from now until the end of the race. It can be done, but those hard tyres are not a very good race tyre. And I get the feeling some of these guys didn't want to necessarily go onto the hards, but at the same time, if we... That's absolutely right. By being on the medium tyres, that has allowed these guys on the alternate strategy to gain crucial track position. Where with these drivers, how closely tight they are to one another, how talented each and every one of those are, how close the field is, does allow them, if they're able to keep in the DRS of LRT, Alex, and further on. They only need to make one stop, and whether that's to the hards or again the softs potentially, as we see the predicted stop strategy there. Again, I don't think that's entirely accurate to what the real life strategy will be for these drivers. We'll have to just wait and see. This has already created an incredible amount of intrigue. Oh, there's a disconnect here for F1 Owen, who we are currently following at the moment. He's playing position gain as an AI, and Liam Hardman, he's pit at the completely wrong time. He's losing out on track, like so much track position. He's going to be last place when everything falls out here. I say as Humperdinck hits again. This is to go on to the hards now. So the hards are the tyre that people want to be on for some reason at the moment. I have to say, I don't think that's necessarily the right call. I think if you're going to pit on lap 1, the mediums are very, very good race tyres, and you don't have to use anything else for the rest of the race. I mean, yes, the softs can be quite good, but they do wear out eventually, and you don't really realistically want to be... If you can avoid it, you do avoid the soft to medium. If you can go medium, it allows you to push for longer and still have the tyre life at the end. No, exactly. You can't start on. Exactly. You have to use two different race compounds in any two different compounds in the race, whether that's soft to hard, soft to medium, medium to hard. Those are the only options. Yeah. I think so. I think the medium runners will be in for a good shout as things stand. But it's a bit too early. Maybe if anything, it could potentially help out the soft tyres, as it may mean they're able to protect the tyres a little longer. May mean they're able to stretch them out for the one stop to the medium tyres a little bit easier than if they were planning to do so under completely green flag running. But we're going to be underway in just a second, and TTM Caesar has gone. Yeah, you know, he's bolted, he's caught out. Oh my goodness me! That's Adam, dude. Out already, and there's another. What is this race? There's another retirement down with the Red Bull Blackie there, or Blocky. I don't know. Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I can't quite tell what that would be. And that is. Yeah, no. Apologies if it's either way there. If I've got it wrong, either way. There was just complete and utter chaos under the green flag. Was part of that just TTM Caesar just going a bit too slowly. And there's another yellow flag with Squidge, but they're dropping like flies at the moment in this Grand Prix. And was there someone else there? I think he ghosted in the end. But what is going on? Brian Rousey, I mean, another safety car, not another one. I can't believe this. This is absolute pandemonium, and that's helped out Adam. I saw a finish last week for that was between 24 thousandths of a second. Two safety cars. We haven't even had a full lap of green flag running yet, and that's played into the hands of the soft runners here. That's played into the hands of the hard runners here. Realistically. Ryan Rousey had a penalty there, as you can see him got held in the pit lane. Now he's gone onto the hards as well. I think everyone's going to be on the hard tyres sooner rather than later, as we see a front ring change there go on for Limp Jet there. He's gone onto the mediums. The only person left on soft is TTM Caesar. He was the leader coming out of the last safety car. Will he be in leader for much longer? I've got to say it's not looking likely at the moment. Aston Martin safety car looking beautiful as always there. Quite right, I think everyone will crash. Just by at least, if not one lap time by the end of the race, certainly. I mean, we did see in like a lot of the races in different tiers last week in Italy have issues when it came to mistakes, but that is there's a track that's a lot harder, a lot easier to make a mistake on, especially exit of turn 2. You can really get too much wheel spin super easily there. The Ascari chicane, very easily able to crash into the wall. But Bahrain, I find this to be one of the easiest tracks on the circuit to really avoid any incidents. So it's baffling. Yeah, it's an eagerness to race, but you've got to do racing safely, and at the moment they haven't been. And flying out, Rosie has gone into the pits again. What is it? He's just went into the hard just a lap ago, and he's going onto the medium tyres now. Wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing him just cut his way through the field like hot butter, or no, like a knife through hot butter. I think the analogy is in the end. He's gonna hold position in the end. So he really had nothing to lose. by going into the pits and going onto the softer, better race tyres. These won't last him to the end of the race. But 3 pits, he can easily go to about lap 21, 22 now on those tyres, and then pit for the softs at the end. So very smart thinking from him. He's going to make up a lot of positions when whilst the people on hards aren't probably going to want to pit again. Their tyres are going to be screaming for help, especially those who pit on lap 1. I don't think there's actually many people who've stayed on their lap 1 hards though. Actually, no. I can't quite figure it out because I mean, Cheetah, he was one of those that jumped into the pit lane. Half was one of those that jumped into the pit lane. They're saying it's 3 lap hards and tyres when they've only been on they've been on him since lap 1. The end of lap 1, so I should say only 5. But we should be getting underway for the safety car coming in this lap. Yes, and we've just had confirmation there from race control. There it is coming in at the end of this lap. It's going to be Caesar again leading us away. It's Cheetah's Ferrari 1-2. We saw that in real life. I don't think we're going to quite see it for much longer at the time being. In this race, of course, early days. Say all 5 drivers here at the front are going to crash. I don't know if I'll necessarily agree with that, but it's going to be interesting, that's for sure. We've got Caesar going to try and lead him away once now. He's going to try and catch his teammate out. I think he's gone. He's already gone away. We can see the revs building up there. I think he nearly lost it, and that's caused Steve to really have a bite of the cherry here. He's going to get the slipstream here. No DRS for another couple laps, but he's going to make the move on the inside. He had a look, but he doesn't quite go for it. But that can't be said for Cheetah, as he's being overtaken now by Harv, who's also on hard, and Team Heaven is also looking for the move there. It's going to be 3 wide into turn 4. No, it's not. It's going to be 2 wide though for the Red Bull and the Alpine. It's wheel-to-wheel action. That's a bit naughty there from Team Heaven, but he's going to have a better grip at the moment, and the smart thing to do for Cheetah would just to let Heaven go at the moment and just try and stick to his coattails, because he's going to be the faster driver just based on the tyre trust. Humperdinck is of course down to 11th. Yes, you're right there. Very disappointing for him at the moment, but I think he would definitely be hoping for a much better race given the qualifying. Same for Harv, but Harv, he's only in P6 at the moment based on strategy. He's in, if you take pit stops needing to be done into account, he's in effective P3 going to the end of the race, but he will be, you know, that's a fast lap of the race there now. You're just saying about the potential for the hard runners to stop at the end of the race. I mean, they'll be running at puncture territory as the Aston Martin of Harv goes up down the inside of the championship rival Cheetah here. Not quite jam pancakes, it's instead of a food, it's an animal here. Unlike slotting in behind his Cheetah, man. He's thinking to himself, okay, you've overtaken me, I'm not going to fight you too hard because that's just going to lose us time to those on the softer tyres in front. I'm just going to get you back next lap when we have DRS. And we can see just slightly more aggressive on the track limits for Cheetah there. He is pushing harder on those tyres, and that will also have to put into question that is he going to be able to get to the end of the race if they continue to fight? Because if they've got to really have a race of tyre management between now and lap 29, if everyone else in front of them is going to be able to push at some point, TTM Caesar, he's going to be able to push till the end of the race, even if he puts on mediums around lap 11, lap 12, which he will be able to do, just given how much he's been able to save the softs, given how much time we've been under safety car these first few laps. and that's another faster lap as well. 2 seconds to the leader for 2 seconds in the lead, 2.4 seconds to his teammate is Caesar at the moment in time. Not really well. All very close there. Cheetah with a 3-second time penalty at the corner. That's the one corner that's super easy to get track limit violations. And we saw it be a controversial topic in the 2021 Real Life Grand Prix in Bahrain, and it's no controversy here. It is the white lines defining track limits. And there's contact allegedly. There's 2 Alfa Romeos just really close to each other in Liam Harmon and LRT Alex. Both on the medium tyres. They're going to be looking to try and make their way through as quickly as they possibly can. Otherwise, that's just going to hurt their own race. This is playing into the hands of Caesar perfectly at the moment. He is going to have lots of work to do once he gets out into the pit lane and decides to box onto the medium tyres, which you'd have to think he's going on to mediums from now. When there's and PSR Troy goes wide there, like Max Verstappen when he locked up in the real life race. That's opened up the opportunity of a lifetime for both Liam Hardman and Typical, and he's going to be joined by LRT Alex. It's going to be 3 wide or 2 sets of 2 wide into turn 4. Oh my goodness me, that was just disaster waiting to happen. But unlike the start of his race, the racing standards have certainly improved quite a bit as we see Troy looking for Humperdinck on the inside into turn 8. That's an unconventional move, but we saw around the outside of turn 10 perhaps for Rosie onto his teammate that just outbrakes him by a century. Got the much more mechanical grip, allowing him to break it, but just that little bit later, just a few meters. And all this fighting, I mean, just slowing each other down and losing them time. And I thought I saw I thought I'd seen a car just spin there, so I nearly had a mini heart attack. You say bad place because he would have gone at DRS, but he will still have DRS. No, he doesn't actually. I'm surprised by that. Wow. Yeah, so it's just going to get overtaken there. I would have thought he would still have DRS because it looks like he was still within a second on the exit of turn 15. Alex on the inside of Typical there on the softer compounder tyre. Typical does go a bit wide and that gives him a 3-second time penalty. He can't be having any complaints about that. Will Typical look to make it on the inside of turn 8 now. Doesn't quite go through. Yeah. Oh, and there's contact! There's contact with his teammate. Liam Hardman's been spun around. He's gone in a bit too deep. All Typical's just broken a tad too early. There's definitely no way that was a brake check. That was just racing incident through and through, and that's just unfortunate for Liam Hardman. He gets spun round when he's been doing well just to keep up the pace of him, and that's not going to land the Mercedes into hot water. Sectors 2 and 3 is about being Liam Hardman. His tyres would be absolutely cooked now. Nath. Oh, and the Red Bull of Team Haven, and looked at the move, very opportunistic there. He's hoping to get a better run out of turn 4, but the Haas of Nath is going to have a bit cheeky there. I think from Nath there was just about ahead, but I don't think if you're Heaven you can be very happy about that. And of course we see Caesar having just pit on to the medium tyres now. He's going to be on those until the end of the race, lap 12 he's pit on. And that's definitely enough laps that you... I mean, I do remember seeing a league race much earlier in the year in the life cycle of this game by, I think it was round 1 of PSGL at Bahrain. And Jano Otmi and Danny Moreno, as we see all a bit of a slide from Team Haven there. Both of them went onto the softer mediums, and I think they pit around lap 9 and 10. So lap 12 definitely good, as Cheetah 3-second time penalty. Wow, I mean it could well be a race of avoiding time penalties now, just keeping it clean. I mean 6-second time penalty now for Cheetah. That's second. Yeah, I mean it makes sense that they keep passing each other because they're just trying to gain as much time as they can, both away from the hard runners who are able to keep up. They're not gaining the time that they would like to on the hard runners, where they're going to have so much overspeed when it comes to putting on the soft tyres at the end of the race, should they choose to do so, which would be a no-brainer for me at this point. And if you're Caesar at the moment, that's exactly what you want to see, just fighting at the front, just slowing each other down. Because they're not really pulling away despite this DRS trading at the moment that they're trying to do. It's all about timing your moves just right, and if Steve was to make the move now, that would be a very poorly timed one, as you can see Harv just getting so close to the gearbox of Team Heaven now. I think the getting hard are certainly making I think the hard certainly phasing in, and Steve, it's going to be 3 wide into 1. Is it going to be 3 into 1? Not quite. It's definitely going to be 2 into 1 at the very least, as the Ferrari and the Red Bull tangled just like in real life. This can't end well, can it? Surely, but it's not. No one ended in disaster yet. Oh my goodness me! How was that? Everyone kept their front wing. That's absolutely unbelievable stuff. All these cars are so close to each other. And Hard, we're going up into P3, but Hard's definitely the faster race tyre now. These medium runners are just going to be praying that lap 20, 21 comes around sooner rather than later. You can see some of them really starting to struggle, and they really struggling now. He's going to be under threat from Cheetah. Could we see them move up into pit turn 11? Not quite. He's going to be smart about this. He's going to be patient. Goes a bit wide, but we're going to be at the fight up the front here, as we're going to see if there's going to be another potential 3 wide moment here, as Steve's going to make a very rudimentary move on Team Heaven, but is Harv going to have the overspeed on Steve as well? He's got the slipstream, he's got the DRS, it's going to be 3 wide into turn 1. The Red Bull going to get pinched in just about. He's not going to have anywhere to go, so he has to concede there. And just like that, Harv's gone into the lead of the race. The Aston Martin driver who's had some poor luck this season. And this, again, just shades of last lap as well. Just same again of this for another few laps they could do. And there's a spin in the back, and it's Cheetah. His title hopes have just gone up in dust if they weren't already gone. And Flying Rosie is in P6 now. 3-second time penalty for season as well in the meantime. This is a huge opportunity for Harv now. He's on the better race tyre. But Steve, he's following so closely. They nearly touch going into turn 11 and 12. How more close are these guys? Oh, and there's a spin! Oh my goodness, and there's a crash between the Ferrari and the Haas. I don't know if anyone else got caught up in that. That's another safety car. Oh my god, there's more that's happening. That's McLaren getting caught up in everything there. Caesar there. Oh my goodness me. Everyone's into the pits now. This is... oh my goodness, this has just played into the hands of so many different drivers. This is absolute disaster for Ferrari now, as they had one driver have to make a front wing change. One driver's now on the medium. Caesar's on to P2, but everyone around him is going to have fresher mediums until the end of the race. Alex, I don't quite know what he was up to. I mean, what tyre is he on? He's on old mediums. This could potentially go to the end of the race, but... And what is that tyre choice? Well, this is some very interesting tyre choices as well. I mean, the medium runners have been forced into making an early pit for the softs because they weren't going on to the hards. That's right, and they will have. It won't be in until you would have to imagine they'll go to green running at lap 18, like you were saying, and it would just be by being under such, like being at such slower speeds, it is protecting their tires as well. So if you're a soft run, if you're Steve right now, I would tactically go slow at the moment, and just it's obviously not to the point where you're falling under regulations and you're going too slowly for. And you'll get penalised by the game, the FIA, but to the point where you maybe just stretch out the safety car by one more lap, just cheekily. I don't think he's going to be able to do that, but let's pit again. Yeah, Steve's coming in again. As is PSR Troy. PSR Troy is in the pit lane for softs. Are we going to see a mad dash for the soft tyres potentially? Ooh, very interesting call. Troy and Steve have decided to change places, like the Mad Hatter robot in that one episode of Futurama. Just yelling change places all the time. Yeah, it is going to be a tyre preserving masterclass from anyone who is going onto the soft tyres. Formula 1 Owen, as we see Steve going a bit wide there. That tricky turn 10, but Formula 1 Owen, the only one on the hard tyres. That's a complete mistake, if I do say so. And he will just be dropping back like a fly. I think, he was under AI? Yeah, I think he was under AI, so it must be because he's ghosted. No, I think when did Squidge retire? I mean, yeah, just check the race director, just because I don't want to, because we're about to get underway again for green flag 1 running. This time, it isn't a Ferrari that's leading the way. It is LRT Alex in the Alfa Romeo. He does have a 5-second penalty, but that could well get removed at the end of things, because that was a pretty unfair one, I think, if I remember rightly. He's going very slowly. He's trying to catch everyone out. And there's the Aston Martin. He's caught out Caesar absolutely with his pants down. It's going to be 3 wide into Team 1. Team Heaven into Turn 1. It's going to be Harv who I can't speak. There's so much going on. There's Harv going into Turn 2. To P2. There's Team Heaven nearly losing out to Caesar again. And there's Humperdinck even making move down the order as well. The Aston Martin driver down back into P3. There's contact there as well for Caesar. It's gone bad to worse for Ferrari now, as there's contact made between the Aston Martin of Harv and the Ferrari of Caesar. From immediate looks, that was a racing incident. And we're going to look down the order as there's so much going on. The Haas of Nath and Humperdinck into Turn 10. That's absolutely not some of the typical team moves being made. Why Rosie, one of the oldest mediums on the grid. Same Harmon with a 3-second time penalty and down to P14 as well. And there's enough as well. So everyone's cold tires, everyone's making mistakes at the moment. And Team Heaven, he's going to be looking to go into the lead with this move here. No DRS to assist him, only ERS and mechanical grip to help. Just to get the move complete, he's using a bit. Oh, there's contact, and this is the Aston Martin. Has the Aston Martin taken any front wing damage? I don't quite know. He does look a bit off. And is there going to be a counter move from LRT Alex? No, there's not. He's going to just play it safe. He's on old mediums. I did say Flying Rosie has older mediums. He does not. That's LRT Alex. And he's going to be a sitting duck. That is the main question here. If LRT Alex, he does look like he's a bit wayward at the moment, but that could just be that his rhythm is thrown a bit off. Oh my goodness, I think it's looking like Harv has some issues here, just with how close typical is. Actually, that being said, typical is on the softer compound of tyre. Your rundown at the moment is the Red Bull of Team Heaven, followed by LRT Alex, Harv, the Aston Martin, and having the best race of his season so far, you'd have to imagine. Looking like typical could make the move. Not quite making the move into turn 14. 15 basically doesn't exist. And no pit stop for Harv. And so typical definitely going to make what will amount to a pretty rudimentary overtake in the end. I say as it's not giving up too easily. The McLaren of Flying Rosie looking a little bit there as yellow flags now, and there's Nath retiring from the race. Yes, in the Haas. 10 laps to go in this race. It is currently Team Heaven, LRT Alex, typical, Harv, Flying Rosie in the top 5. We see 2 seconds to Team Heaven at the moment. As things stand, he's got to make the most of that soft tyre advantage though, don't you think? He's going away at the moment because in a few amount of time those medium runners are going to be right back on him. Yeah, absolutely. Alex just a sitting duck at this point. He's in third at the moment, on track, but he isn't going to really be towards the end of this race. He's just going to fall further and further back. Absolutely. I mean, just third. I'd say third down to about 7th or 8th. I mean, just there's a DRS train here at the moment. We're going to look behind on LRT Alex to have a look at this. And you can see Harv as well starting to try and catch up. He's not really doing much to catch up there. Under braking, that's where he gains most of his time there. He's half a tenth, 6/10. Just he's not looking very comfortable in comparison to LRT Alex. Everything's starting to calm down a bit more as people have just started to, and yeah, but let's take a look at the Haas here. With that's a great shot just to show how close everyone is there. And yeah, just Limp Jet just not really being able to be as close as everyone else is to each other. What's that? And you've got PSR Troy and Limp Jet, they've got work to do in terms of having the soft compound on the tyre, as we see that being done now through turn 12, a flat out right-hander there into turn 13. Is there going to be tears here? No, there's not. That's a brilliant move from PSR Troy there. Just the overwhelming mechanical grip there from PSR Troy was just absolutely fantastic. And he's basically pushing Humperdinck through. It's going to be a rudimentary move, potentially, you'd have to think. He's going to think the best. He's going to think better of it though. He's maybe just trying to get people where they don't expect though. And maybe just trying to get a better exit out into turn 4. We're just going to follow this fight a bit longer as we try and see who's going to come out on top. It's not going to be anyone there. And there's contact between who though? When they're side by side going, this is where we saw Caesar get spin round, and Ryan Rosie just thinking better of anything, just backs out and wheel to wheel contact, pushes Humperdinck wide. He's got to surely hand that one back for any semblance of lack of penalty. Oh my god, it's side by side. Does Humperdinck return the favour of pushing him wide? He does not. PSR Troy is really going to try and find a way through now, because he doesn't want to accidentally get caught up in any of this. This can only end in one way, and that is in tears for one of these drivers, but for who? And again, from a flat right hand of turn 13, dive into turn 13 here. Not able to pull it off, and it's going to be Cheetah who's able to get a move onto the back of Flying Rosie now. He's having a look into turn 14. Just going to be smart about it and go onto the DRS zone now. But we're going to have Humperdinck here in P6 for fight for P6. Humperdinck, and it's Flying Rosie, and it's Alex now up on the grid there into P4 for a split second up to half. And there's contact there. The yellow flags, and that is just for retiring TTM Caesar, which is very disappointing to see, given how he was in the lead at one point. It's side to side into turn 4 between these two drivers here, LRT Alex and Harv. And Adam Dude looking for the move himself, yes, like you were saying. But just avoiding any sort of action. And there's a dive from Humperdinck behind there, trying to get in front of Adam Dude there. Not going to work out at this moment in time, but he's going to have another bite of the cherry in just a minute. As things stand, it is the Aston Martin at the lead of this battle. I think the fight for the lead has just about gone, and it's between Team Heaven and Typical here. They're probably not going to start overtaking each other for another couple of laps. Again, just so much wheel banging between these two guys. There's just so many of these guys today. They don't want to give anything up. And there's a move. Oh, there's more contact. Harv's involved with yet more contact. And that's caused calamity in the back of the field there. And is Formula 1 Owen going to get points as an AI today? And there's a pit stop for Team Heaven. He can't make it. Has he got front wing damage? He doesn't. He just can't make it to the end. A typical F1. He's going to be... Oh no, wait, no, maybe not, because the safety car's come out. Everyone is pitting now. Team Heaven is actually looking like a genius now, because these guys in the top 3 here are all going to lose out, because they're going to be sitting ducks. Typical F1's going to... I can't believe I just completely missed the safety car there. It makes sense that it would be called out, given such a wild Formula 1 Owen up to 5th place, I must say, as well. On the hard tyres, his AI is doing a phenomenal job. I mean, unfortunately disconnected, but if he can... Oh, yeah, no, I mean... I feel bad for all these drivers I've had contact here, because it's not what you really want to see in terms of racing, but I don't think it's really the fault of Harv there. It's just what happens when you race so closely to one another for so long. It did say it was going to end in tears for someone, but for who? And it turns out it was for the likes of Steve and Alex there in the end. The Ferrari power teams not having the best of days, the Mercedes power teams and the Red Bull powertrains teams doing quite well. As long as your name isn't Blocky, yeah, just Blocky, because there's only one Alpha Tauri. Or Squidge, he is in the Mercedes. Just yeah, it's making the most of the opportunity that gets handed to you, and there's been 4 safety cars today. And just being able to pit at the right time is absolutely crucial. As we saw in the race in Italy, like multiple of the races in Italy last week, in both Tier 3 and Tier 5 for the race I was commentating on last week, and in Canada the week before as well. Just when you've got safety cars bunching the field together, you've got to make sure that you're on the right tyre at the right moment, and it does afford you the opportunity to be a lot more aggressive. And usually those who are a bit more aggressive, especially in these late stage safety cars, are the ones who benefit the most. And it's just the job of Typical now, especially since he's got that 6-second penalty, he's got 3-second time penalty, just to try and pull away as much as he physically can with the safety car coming out at the end of this lap. And just so there's going to be winners and losers from all the way down the grid with the safety car now. As Typical, has he gone yet? No, he hasn't. He's not choosing to go yet. He's bunching everyone up as much as he can, and he's caught out the Aston Martin. No, he hasn't. He's going to get the slipstream here. He's going to have the effective race lead, and he's going to go for the actual race lead on track into turn 1. And it's a bit deep for Typical there. Is Humperdinck going to get the better exit now? He's into turn 4. He's going to get the slipstream here, but no DRS to aid him. He's going to look on the inside of turn 4, but thinks better of it in the end. He's got one longer. Brian Rossi into P4 now, the effective P3. And Adam Dude as well, going into turn 5. Red Bull looking into turn 8 there. I don't think it was quite turn 5. And just Red Bull just so close of Team Heaven, so close to Humperdinck there, Brian Rossi. And oh my goodness me! Side by side into turn 11 for Humperdinck. It's going to be 3 wide into 11. That surely wouldn't work. And in the end, Team Heaven has got a time penalty, which is going to play into the hands of Humperdinck here. So long as he can stay on alongside with Brian Rossi into turn 12 there, turn 13 even. And Adam, wow, Humperdinck is just falling so far behind. He's going to try and fight it as much as he can. And Cheetah, these medium runners who didn't pit under the face guard, just lost out so much. And Flying Rosie, despite starting so far down the road, he's on course to win this race. His third win of the season, this would be. This would make him have the most wins out of anyone. Of course, he's joined with, I think it is Cheetah at the moment, with 2 race wins apiece. I'll have to double check that for you in just a minute. But it is absolutely incredible stuff from this man in the McLaren today. If they can't do it in real life, I'll do it in WR Tier 3. That's for sure. The amount of action that we've seen today, the amount of chaos we've seen today has just been absolutely nothing short of phenomenal, really. There's only 2... And Formula 1 I was rooting for his AI. And, yeah, Cheetah may well have just called it quits in the end. He's had a huge opportunity for the win here today, or just to get massive points on Flying Rosie in the championship fight, but Flying Rosie, it's not even halfway through the season, he's effectively got one hand on the championship at half. With the slipstream there, and it's just the soft runner of Harvey, just going to have so much more speed than Humperdinck in the end. And Steve with the slipstream, is it going to be? It's definitely going to be. It's going to be 4 wide for a brief second there with the Alpha Man. Harv has to escape there. He's going to get a penalty for that. Yep, as we see there, but I don't know if that's entirely fair. He was forced off a bit just by virtue of it being 4 wide. Is it going to be 4 wide again? Into turn 4. The Alpha Romeo of LT Alex does go off track for a tiny bit, and it is now the Humperdinck who stays in front, showing why he is the reigning, defending Tier 3 champion, and he's on off for the Ferrari man then, Steve. And it's side by side for Alfa Romeo, side by side for Ferrari power. And 1.5 laps to go, and just another 28 really. And there's a very clear sort of difference here between the different groups of drivers. Adam Dude is going to look for the move on for the lead into this final bit, but we're just following now, just for this last little bit, with this fight for 5th here at the moment. Harv at the moment with it, but Humperdinck with the overwhelming pace. Team Heaven does have the lead on track at the moment. It looks like he probably finished the race with the move on track. And typical, it's going to be Rossi on track, going to get P2. He's got the overspeed on typical. If Adam Dude wants his race win, he has to make the move on typical now. And he does down the inside, be able to clear him in time. Is there going to be contact potentially? Side by side, forcing him onto the curb there. A rumble strip, and it's just going to slow Adam Dude down so much. There was really no need for fighting there either, just because of the penalties that Typical has, and that's basically killed off any thoughts of a move on for the win. And Humperdinck there, and now down into the fight for P5 again, as we got Harv now in P5, and there's look for the outside, a bit of a lock-up for Humperdinck, you could see there. And that's opened up the opportunity for Steve to go into 6th place. We're going to go round side by side into turn 10. You see the AI get this wrong in career mode. And they've gone wide there, has Humperdinck. In 3-second time, that's huge before the end of this race. And that's going to mean whoever finishes 6th on track is going to finish 5th overall. And it's the Haas coming through in turn 12 there. Side by side pushes Aston Martin of Humperdinck wide, and now he's fallen through there, and it's going to be Harv in P5 in the end. But on track, we're going to see the Red Bull of Team Heaven. He's going to win it on track. He's going to probably appeal the time penalty there, but on the after penalties, it is Flying Rossi with his 3rd win of the season, followed by Adam Dude, and just the end of an incredible race there in Bahrain. And driver of the day, you can't disagree with that at all. But a last the first challenge in the almost literal sense. I mean, he was towards the back, but wasn't quite back. But I mean, an absolute champion's drive from him. Don't be surprised to see him in either Tier 2 or Tier 1 next season. This man just has done such exceptional racecraft. And I mean, I'm gushing about Rossi, but also, I mean, every single one of those drivers just had moments of pure greatness and a lot of purely bad luck today. Only 13 drivers finished this race. 12 drivers even finished this race today. The pole sitter Cheetah, unfortunately, all the way down in P11 in the end. Of course, one of those drivers that did have a bit of bad luck. That's the worst time as well. Couldn't exactly recover at the point that it happened. Half as well in P10 in the end. Just a lot of, I mean, there's going to be a lot of stewarding. Well, yeah, wow, and fastest lap as well. So maximum points for Flying Rossi in the end. Adam Dude in second place, 70th place to Team Heaven as well. Actually, Team Heaven, if it wasn't for that penalty, I mean, he'd win the race. So, I mean, maybe he should be getting driver of the day. And let us know in chat who your driver of the day was there, because I mean, it's hard to really say. Like these guys, from an entertainment perspective, everyone was driver of the day. Who'd think if you said at the start of this race, the 4-stop would be the winning strategy? So that would actually be the case. I mean, going on about, I remember the start of the race was going on about how the unlikely strategy would be a softer medium or softer hard. 5 Limjet, and he still managed to get P7 in the end. I mean, that last lap just had so much fighting in it, especially from those fighting for P5. Oh my god, the stewards are going to have their hands going to be kept busy for the next couple of days whilst we get this all those incidents sorted out in the end. Imagine there's going to be a few penalty points flying, whether deserved or not. No, of course, it's a break week, isn't it? Yeah. Shame, but I mean, I think after that it's kind of needed. But right, yeah. Oh no. At least we have the race results there. Just so we can see them at least, and someone could clip that or screenshot it. I mean, Adam did just 1.4 tenths of a second from the win at the end there as well. So I mean, that was a very good from him. Probably the most consistent driver of the race, that's maybe typical, who ended up P4 and starting P3. I think Tier 5 might have to watch out. I think I might have a new favourite tier to commentate. I don't know. I mean, these guys were very entertaining. I'm just gonna have a look back on the I'm just having a watch now what the incident might have been before turn 1, and oh my, that is just silly. It's just wheel banging and then suddenly just lose control of your car entirely. That's yeah, I think we might have to quit out, and don't know if that might mean any opportunity for interviews. Unless we could get and find Rossi in. Apologies, that can't. Oh, wait, there we are. Yeah, I think it's quite late. To be fair, I don't know. I think after a race like that, I don't know if anyone would want to actually talk. So, just gonna. even for this week. I think it would take too long, to be fair. So I think everyone's probably just going to bed. I think they've had an adrenaline crash. So we are going to end it there for today. And